Hi, I'm Pete Thompson, founder and CEO of Invisible Systems. And what I want to talk about today is the use of monitoring and targeting with a view to reducing carbon and energy consumption. And what I want to do is run through a few examples that we've experienced over the years. Okay, so to give a bit of background on the business, we've got partners that established in Dublin or across Ireland, Brennan and Co. So I just want to confirm that we've been working with this company for a number of years now, and they've been a great partner for us to be providing energy and sustainable solutions across Ireland. We are a UK-based company. We've been in business now for over 18 years. My vision was 20 years ago that we could collect data from wireless devices, which now is identified as Internet of Things, and collect that data and pass it up to the internet in order for people to work more proactively and avoid constantly traveling around to collect data, be notified of exceptions in advance of them becoming critical. So as a result of having this vision, there was no technical products on the market. There was no Internet of Things going back all those years. So we had no option but to design and develop all our own products, the hardware and the software, which we've done over the years. And as a result, we still continually invest over $500,000 annually in research and development. So what we provide are total end-to-end solutions. Collecting data is really important, but it's robust and reliable. We process in the region of 9 million records per day, and we not only provide data to our own platform, but can also share that with third-party software applications too. So this is just a statement from David Attenborough about never before have we been made aware of the importance of reducing carbon and improving the planet for all our future and our future dependents. And I think the important point here is that there is a broad and increased awareness now globally around carbon reduction and improving people's awareness to effect reducing that carbon, which indirectly reduces our energy and running costs too. Next slide. So the UK has announced the most ambitious climate change target, reducing emissions by 78% by 2035. Ireland, similarly, have got challenging targets to reduce their carbon reduction. So it's so important that we all work together collectively to reach that net zero for long-term business growth, because not only is it going to impact on the running costs of your business, but it's also going to be impacting on penalties that will be made by governments for companies that are not managing their carbon effectively. Next slide. So a bit of background. We've been working with many businesses over the 19 years of being in business. Greggs the Bakers, Balfour Beatty, a large construction company, Disney, NHS, people like EE, Everything Everywhere, Vodafone, many telecoms. And what we've done by working with these companies is help them, by adopting IoT, help them reduce their running costs, but also their utility costs and reducing carbon. And it's not just a case of monitoring and targeting energy. All these different things complement each other in order to reduce that carbon footprint. This is just an example of a dashboard. So I said we've got a wide range of devices to collect data, whether that be energy, environmental, but then we've also got a platform that displays that information. And it's important that the user access is tailored around the application that is being monitored. And also all the reporting and the alarm notifications, again, are tailored around those applications. So the Internet of Things has definitely is in the forefront of many businesses' minds, and certainly there's been a lot of statistics that have been drawn from reduction of carbon as a result of the Internet of Things. And all I'm doing here is just presenting some statistics that have been made globally that in order to reduce water consumption by 230 billion cubic meters. IoT will enable that saving. IoT will reduce carbon emissions by 1 gigaton, reduce electricity consumption by 1.6 petawatt hours. So that's enough, and I think it's always easier to explain a comparison as to what the effect of that reduction will be, and that will be 136 million homes in 1 year. Also, when we look at the different elements of our carbon reduction, or areas where we could reduce carbon, we've prioritized our efforts in developing technical solutions around areas. Okay, thank you. We focused our efforts on areas where there are statistics supporting high levels of carbon reduction. And one of those is in the construction sector of the industry. And it's estimated that there are, can you go back one slide, sorry. Yeah, so it's estimated that in construction, there is an enormous degree of carbon generated in the construction industry. We've developed some technology whereby we monitor the energy consumption on the construction site, and we load shed that energy. So what that means is we can reduce the energy supply onto the construction site by load shedding when there are peaks and troughs. And also we can run on grid supplies as opposed to using generators providing power to that construction site. And as a result, we've got anywhere between the maximum carbon reduction that we've achieved is 83%, and the minimum is 30%, which actually then has indirect savings on cost of not only energy, but also sizes of generator and infrastructure provided. So this is a statement from the energy manager at Balfour Beatty, that within 6 months, they reduced their carbon emissions by 83%. And this was done because traditionally, that construction site would have had to have 2 large generators to feed that or a large generator to feed that site with power. And as a result of load shedding and reducing the size of the supply onto the construction site, we were able to use a mains supply as opposed to a generator supply, which indirectly reduce carbon by not operating large generators inefficiently, but using a grid supply, which is has a much reduced carbon content. Other areas where there are major opportunities to reduce carbon is in the education sector and social housing, where we've identified that by monitoring things like mold growth, we can enable landlords to organise their maintenance of those buildings more efficiently by prioritising where they've got issues within the properties, rather than going out to each individual property on a regular basis to do checks. And this has all been enabled by the use of remotely monitoring using Internet of Things. Again, other areas we've been very active in and successful with our partners with Brennan's in Ireland is monitoring refrigerated temperatures. We've been really key in monitoring not just temperatures for vaccines for COVID, but also for general vaccines in hospitals, care homes, remotely, and then displaying that information on site. But what this means is it reduces manual intervention, which indirectly has got an impact on carbon reduction through people traveling around, taking those actions. Okay, so I think I'm on time there.
Hi, Pete. Thank you very much. Pete Thompson, CEO of Visible Systems. Yeah, Pete, we're compiling questions throughout the morning, so we'll probably deal with those at the panel discussion. Yeah, it's great to see some case studies where significant reductions have been